Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, fans out there. This is Battlefield 1. In today's video, we're going to be taking a closer look at all available weaponry in the Apocalypse DLC. As per user request, I'm going to be giving you a quick overview essentially of what the weapons are, how to unlock them, what they have to offer, not in the usual detailed weapon review sense that we have in the past and will in the future use to analyze these weapons, but more in a brief fashion for a quick overview and of course for later reference. That being said, let's jump in straight to the first weapon, in this case for the Assault class, the RSC SMG. Coming in, of course, with a factory and optical variant. To unlock the factory variant, you're going to have to get 50 kills as Assault, and the optical variant is unlocked upon getting 50 kills with the RSC factory, as well as 300 explosive damage against vehicles within one round. This weapon, of course, an absolute beast when it comes to close quarters, coming in with a maximum damage of 38, giving you a guaranteed 3-shot kill in the body that's up to 12 meters, paired with a relatively high fire rate given its damage model of 449. The weakness, of course, of this weapon is not only its extremely small magazine size, but also its relatively hefty recoil. If you want to extend this weapon's range a little bit more to the medium, I would recommend maybe tap firing this weapon instead of going full auto, not only to conserve ammo, but also to ease a little bit off on the horizontal recoil and make sure all of your shots are really hitting. Also in the Assault class of weaponry, technically not introduced in this DLC, but very much a completely new weapon, is the SMG 0818, coming in once more with a factory and of course a optical variant, unlocked by completing 15 kills with the MP18 trench, as well as 10 kills with 80 grenades. That's for the factory variant of the weapon, and for the optical variant, 50 kills with an automatico trench, as well as 5 tanks destroyed with mines is the requirement to unlock. This weapon, of course, I have already reviewed in a full weapon review since the patch. Absolute beast, coming in with a massive 770 round per minute fire rate, massive magazine, but of course to compensate, extremely high recoil, making this weapon of course bound to close medium range exclusively, but also the ultimate flanking weapon to take out pretty much an entire squad. Moving on from the Assault class to the Medic class. Here, of course, we got the Howell Automatic in a factory and sniper variant. This weapon to unlock is 50 kills with the Medic for the factory variant, and if you want to unlock the sniper variant, you're going to have to get 50 kills with the Howell factory, as well as 600 healing points within one game. This weapon, coming in with a maximum damage of 42, minimum damage of 30, is essentially just another Farquhar Hill. The difference here is really the variants available. Whereas the Farquhar Hill was available in a Storm variant and optical variant, the Howell Automatic is available in a factory and sniper variant. It comes in with a little bit higher recoil as well. For those of you looking for the lower recoil variants of this weapon, definitely stick to the Farquhar Hill Storm. For those of you looking for more the longer range or medium range scoped variants of these weapons, maybe the sniper variant of the Howell Automatic is just what you're looking for. Leaving the Medic class, moving on to the Support class, of course, we got the LMG 0818 in a low weight and suppressive variant. The low weight variant is unlocked, of course, by getting 50 kills once more with the Support class, and for the suppressive variant, you're going to have to get 50 kills with the low weight, as well as 100 resupplies within one round. This weapon is essentially a large magazine version of the BAR M1918. It comes in with higher recoil as well, but to somewhat compensate for this, not only the already mentioned larger magazine, but also a bipod, meaning, of course, that it benefits a little bit more from strategic positioning or bipod usage, but is of course understandably not as good as the BAR either in Storm or Trench variant when it comes to the run and gun playstyle. Using this weapon effectively is relatively easy. It's quite versatile despite its relatively high recoil. If you're going for those medium long range shots, make sure you of course bipod up, otherwise spray and pray away. You've got plenty of shots in the magazine to do it with this weapon. Moving on then of course to the Scout class. Here we got a couple of interesting weapons, specifically the Ross MK3 Marksman. This essentially is another variant of the SMLE MK3 Marksman, not when it comes to weapon history, but when it comes to the stats of the weapon. These weapons are essentially identical. They have the same sweet spot damage model, the same muzzle velocity. The difference here really is versus the SMLE MK3 that the Ross MK3 has a higher fire rate, therefore however a lower magazine size at only 5. So if you've always been wanting an SMLE that shoots slightly faster but performs otherwise essentially the same, well then the Ross MK3 is probably just a weapon for you. The second weapon we got from the Scout class is arguably also an extremely interesting weapon, the M1917 Enfield Infantry. Equipped clearly more for the close quarter engagement when it comes to Scout combat, and actually has stats that point in the very opposite direction. Not only an excellent muzzle velocity at 820 meters per second, but a sweet spot damage model identical to that of the M1903. That means a one-shot body shot kill between the ranges of 100 to 150 meters. And all of this on an iron sights equipped Scout weapon is to a certain extent confusing, but on the other hand allows you to be extremely versatile with the way you use this weapon. Your scope essentially is good for all ranges. At very long ranges, you may want to switch over to a marksman or sniper variant. However, choosing this over the M1903 is essentially a choice of higher fire rate at the cost of losing any kind of serious magnification on your scope. What I'd like to add to this additionally is that the M1970 Enfield Infantry's iron sights are probably the worst I've seen on any scout weapon in Battlefield 1. They're extremely difficult to track targets with at medium close range. However, for those looking for a challenge and a weapon that certainly will reward being used at its ideal engagement distance, the M1917 is certainly a valid pick. That being said, I'd love to know what you think about the Apocalypse DLC weaponry, as well as which weapons you'd like me to review first, given of course that weapon reviews on these weapons will follow in the coming days and week. So leave that, as well as of course your usual video suggestions down below in the comments, or hit me up with them on Twitter. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. But with all that being said, I'd like to thank you very much for watching, and hope to see you in the next Battlefield 1 video.